My hometown is near Carolyn.
Yeah, I've never been to that town, but I've been through it.
That's trash.
Hello and welcome to That's Cool, That's Trash, the podcast where we watch a psychotronic movie online, then get together on Skype to break down the crazy. I'm Matt Howell, and I'm joined today by
Joe Kincher
and
Jacob Balcom.
Welcome back, guys. Today we are not watching a movie online and we're not talking on Skype. We're in my living room, and we are about to watch 2009's After Last Season. So none of us have seen the whole thing, and I asked Joe and Jacob to come in blind and not even watch anything about it online, any trailers, nothing. So Joe, just based on the title, After Last Season, what are you expecting?
Kind of maybe a indie, what's the Before Sunset kind of thing.
Later?
Yeah, only not good. Like maybe if Tommy Wiseau did that type of a piece, or thought he was doing that type of a piece. I'm thinking Lifetime movie, kind of a production value and vibe. But I haven't seen anything. I have nothing to go on. So yeah, I don't know, Jacob.
Lifetime movie was kind of the first thing that I thought, but now that you say it was from 2009, oh boy, I don't know what to expect then.
Is Obama in it?
He is not. But just bear in mind while you watch it that Obama was president. That's where we were in our history as humans. Okay, so what we're going to do now is watch this movie, and then we're going to talk with you guys when we're done about our impressions. We'll see you guys soon. Okay, we're back. And we're after last seasoned. So, initial thoughts, Jacob.
Oh my god, that was really tough. It was a tough slog. I thought I was going in, it would be fine, but it was rough. It was rough in a lot of ways, not just the set design. Because the set design was particularly rough.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was there set design?
Yeah.
Because what I saw was, just take everything off the wall and have an empty wall in an empty place. That was the set design. It was.
But then put up cardboard on the wall for some reason.
This wall needs something. How about pegboard?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you didn't like the new wave theater approach to set design?
I thought it needed to be more austere to even be new wave.
Very early on, my one of my first impressions was this would be more successful if they had done it like black box theater style, where it was just like literally like a one act off Broadway theater that was an all black stage and just people in simple outfits acting their asses off and like, oh, we get it. Like we'll imagine it. They'll mime the places and the things and stuff. But instead, they did the bare minimum, and I think they thought they could split the difference. And boy, that really doesn't work on film. It doesn't.
I don't even know where to begin.
But I thought it was delightful, just delightful.
2 thumbs way up.
Yeah,
Way up.
I don't know what that means, but yeah, that sounds positive.
So when we scheduled this, basically, this was available on YouTube, and then it got yanked in that meantime. So it's not currently up there, but I can guarantee if somebody digs hard enough, they'll find it on like a Vimeo or some Russian version of YouTube. But it will also pop up again, I'm sure, if you keep looking around. But this is, would you say this is worth hunting down if it took a little bit of effort, like $3?
No. No.
I don't know, man.
Really?
I kind of would, just because it's rare to see this level of thing that got done to completion that's this bad. And so I would say yes, if for no other reason than cautionary example. I mean, it makes Birdemic look like a professional Hollywood venture. Like, it's quite something to behold that somebody would, could put something together like this and nobody was like, are we sure we're really going to do this?
Dog out. Stay out. Okay, so can someone give me the synopsis? Did you prepare something, Joe?
I wrote
out.
I wrote my little TV guide. My little TV guide synopsis. This is what I have. I don't know how accurate it is or anything, but for what it's worth, TV guide. After last season, 2 improv students meet in a basement to engage in a psychology exercise that ends up exposing a ghost-faced killer and an invisible ally. Rated PG for paranormal garbage.
I like that. Can you go one level deeper, Jacob, because I feel like I still don't quite understand what the movie was about. What's your read?
Wow. I mean, I think... Wow, this is a tough one. It's really tough to come up with some sort of accurate synopsis of this film.
You have a burden here because some people listening can't see it currently.
Oh, God. Yeah, I would say the psychology, not experiment, but the psychology exercise that we were shown that was what was going on by the very poorly made signs that are everywhere in the film. It starts out with a guy getting an MRI, and the MRI machine is not an MRI machine at all, but more like
It's like a little vinyl tent.
Yeah, it's like a tent that...
The table that doesn't... you think they don't even slide the table into it. It's like, no, you know what happens with MRIs.
Yeah, so somehow that's supposed to give us some sort of clue that there's psychology, brain science going on.
But never pays off.
No, it never pays off. And then I think we can probably just jump to the putting of the little pieces of paper, the tiny chips on the head.
Sorry. Really quickly, just because take the pressure off of you to the viewer who hasn't seen it. There is a whole bunch of stuff that never comes up again and doesn't matter at all. So it's sort of like there are conversations with characters that we never see again, and things that they have these little small talk conversations that we don't know what they're about. They never pay off. Right? Like the 2 roommates or whatever they're supposed to be. But there's all this stuff that completely doesn't matter until this one meat of the film that seems to be the thing. It's sort of like that. It reminds me of that thing like writing 121 where they're like, yeah, write your thing. And then by the time you get to the end of your first paragraph, that should be your first sentence. And that's what you want to write about. And this movie is like, it completely did that. And it's like, oh, this is what the movie should have been, except it's still not good. But there's a lot of stuff going on that like, if you haven't seen this, it's complete, like, chaff, I guess.
So, I think one of the scenes you're talking about is the main female character's roommate is talking to another woman with an accent.
Right.
And making small talk about their families, where they're from. And I believe that entire scene, which is about 4 or 5 minutes, its purpose is to establish this location, which is just another one of the rooms with white sheetrock walls,
right,
is Sarah's dorm room, and that's her roommate. And her job is to say that scene's job is to say, this is where Sarah lives. She's in a dorm room. She's a college student in this medical school.
Yes,
and she's never here because she studies so hard. That's the function of that scene.
Wait, she's never what?
Her roommate said like she's never ever here. Like,
okay.
She's always in class or studying at the library or doing an exercise.
Yeah.
That's unexpected. When'd you learn about it? I'm on the third floor. I live in an apartment building on the east side of the city. It's about 50 minutes from the bridge. I have a view of downtown through my windows. I started moving on Monday. My apartment's down the hall. Yeah, the landlord told us there'd be new tenants. There's a lot of furniture being carried around. So you all settled in your new apartment? Thanks. I didn't know much before that. My mother didn't go into the details. She spent most of her early years in a small town.
I can go as far back as my grandfather. He grew up in Ringham. He didn't have any brothers or sisters.
Did he like the town?
Sometimes he gave me the impression that he didn't. But my grandfather stayed in Ringham most of his life.
What did he do in Ringham?
He became a carpenter.
Well, my father also grew up in a small town. He stayed in his town until he was 15. Later on, his family moved away into the suburbs of a large city. Wow, it's a nice radio clock. Where did you get it?
Last week, yeah. The buttons on my old one weren't working anymore, so. We've been sharing the room together since the beginning of term, but I rarely see her.
Need my neurochemistry book? She's your new roommate?
She spends a lot of hours in the Failure building, and when she's here, she barely sees me because I spend a lot of hours at the Auburn Hospital.
But why is
Not
that
experiment.
important? Because they
not.
could have just said, take our word for it. She's a hard studying student, had 2 lines of dialogue, and we're like, I get it. You're an archetypal, like, hard studying medical student.
No, but it was a 4-minute scene with the worst small talk you've ever heard.
Like,
ever.
if you've ever been
Including
to a,
every elevator ride I've ever been on in my life.
Oh, it was
any
way
party
worse.
you've ever been to where you're like, yeah, we don't have anything in common. I could tell that in 2 sentences, but yeah, this is what I do. And then, like, you can listen to the other person go, like, oh, yeah, so, I live, blah, 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 and I used to live there, and it's outside of this, and my dad, and da-da-da, and you're like, okay, all right. Oh, there's somebody I know, if you'll excuse me.
So what I don't get is, I mean, you work in media and you know enough about everything. I mean, like, if you're making a small film with a small budget, you would be lean. Like, you would go over your screenplay and be like, how do I establish this fact with as few dollars and seconds of film as possible? Because this was shot on 35 millimeter.
It should be El Mariachi. It should be how do I convey the most with the least dialogue and the fewest establishing shots and the fewest like mise en scène, like scenery, set pieces, all the rest of it. So and clearly they didn't have any money for set pieces because everything in this, we should say, is like I said earlier on when we were watching it, it looked like, oh, this home, like actually it looked like they set up in there with their MRI thing and it was like, yeah, you guys got an hour because we have a couple coming through that's going to look at this house. Like, I mean, it was insane. And everything was echoey because it was, I mean, just empty rooms with nothing on the walls and no set decoration, set dressing to speak of, which means like that tells me no budget. If they can't go to like Wayfair or whatever and get things and like decorate it to look like it's lived in even, then they certainly don't, it's like, yeah, you should cut it and go like, well, what are the few, well, like, how do we strip this down and say how this character is?
Yeah.
Like with a few lines of dialogue.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that you would do something like have the female roommate on the couch or on the phone. Sarah comes in and she says something to the effect of, your mom's been calling, she's trying to get a hold of you, you're never here. She said you're always at the library. Something. It's just
maybe
it's
there's
literally one fucking line.
A stack of textbooks and she's asleep on the couch, mid-glass of wine. She's clearly been studying all night. Look, we just did it. One scene. It's one setup, one set decoration scene, no continuity, and 4 lines of dialogue, and you just light that, shoot that, and like, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm like, you know, and she's like bleary eyed and like, I'm studying so hard and blah blah blah. That's it, like done. Instead of this, like, hey, let's heart to heart with this character that I'm never going to see again in this conversation that has no bearing on anything. It doesn't.
But how would you know which town that Czechoslovakian girl has been to, or just through?
Just through.
The town she doesn't mention?
Yeah. Just the town.
The city. And that's the thing, is that if that had, like, revealed something about the character, the personality of the main character... Mm-hmm. That'd be a little bit more forgivable. You can say like, oh, I get it. She's really tight with her roommate, or she cares about, or she's prickly with him. You know, she doesn't like small talk, or whatever personality trait you want to convey.
It's an opportunity.
It's an opportunity to convey something about a personality.
Yeah.
But that did not happen. It was just literally like overhearing 2 people doing the most boring small talk in a bar where you're just like, oh my God, is it rude to put my headphones on in a bar? Is that going to look weird? Because I literally can't. It's excruciating to hear these people like, no, you know, I just blah, 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 and whatever. And woof. Yeah.
Okay, so an easy 80% of this film occurs in one location, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob, describe to me what the majority of the scene's setting looks like.
It looks like a kind of a half-finished basement industrial janitor's closet. Just not a lot of anything. Just very spare and strange, with a lot of printed signs.
Yes,
the signs were important. That was basically the set decor.
But now describe the signs, because like you say printed signs, and I think that in the listener's mind, that's giving it probably a lot of credit. They're like, oh, printed signs, nice. No.
I mean like dot matrix printed signs.
Like print shop Commodore 64.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe Amiga, but most likely Commodore 64.
Rooms A through B.
The kind of thing that printed on the printer when they're like, oh, we have this building that's not, like, this is our temporary building, and here's where you go for orientation.
Yeah.
Yes, totally.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, this kind of thing, and maybe they put it in a plastic sleeve.
Yeah, pardon our mess.
But it's like, it says a word in a really, like, basic readable font and an arrow. And you're like, okay, all right, cool. This isn't like a permanent thing.
So the experiment that takes up the most of the time in this film is that, as was mentioned earlier, there's these tiny chips that you put on the temple of your head, and it allows you to read the thoughts projected by another test subject wearing the same chip. So this is an exercise in new technology. And so this occurs in these barren warehouse, like Reservoir Dog warehouse rooms with butcher paper on the windows.
Yep.
The tables are made out of cardboard, and they have like the same stuff that the doctor's office puts over the bed when you come in the clinic and sit down.
There's like paper sheets,
taped down.
Still in it, yeah.
So that's where the majority of these things take place. And Joe, talk to me, because you're in the film industry and you work in animated films. Talk to me a little bit about a lot of the sequences in here that show what the projected thoughts are.
Oh, you mean okay, so you're talking about the computer-generated sequences?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're treated to when they go into their Inception...
Bom, bom.
Yeah. Wow. And so there's no music, no Edith Piaf, no nothing. There's actually no sound. But when they put on their temple things and they go into their shared vision, what we're treated to is a series of shapes moving around, 3D shapes that are rendered in, I mean, this movie was what, 2003 you said?
2009.
2009?
There's no way.
Yes,
There's no way.
And it's like, so it's like 3D rendered shapes floating around, like a light blue background. And what I said is like, this looks like a CG renderer's like demo reel, or like in a like a program would have, like, oh, here's what you can do with, render spheres and cubes and, polygons and whatever. And then things float around, and they're very simple shapes and they float around, and it is not great. And there's no like cool Pink Floydy trippy music, or any music would have been great actually. And they just sort of float around, and then we cut back and forth between that and between our psychologist and student, like sitting across from each other, and then back to the thing. And there doesn't seem to be any, like, there's an opportunity, I feel like, for these abstract shapes to convey something.
That's the story of this film, really, isn't it?
Right. But I mean, in the way that, like, you know, an opera or classical music, they're like, oh, well, it's in a minor key and it does this, and it goes, blah, 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 and you're like, oh, it's lyrical and it means this and it says this about this character. And so but it's just a bunch of fucking shit floating around. Like, it doesn't mean shit. It's like squares, and they're not even doing cool shit. It's not like squares and then the squares turn into spheres and then the spheres become fish.
But you have to see, like, it does not look like 2009 computer animation.
No.
So what it looks like to me,
completely
Jacob, I don't know if you ever saw these, but Joe and I went to high school together, so we had some recreational drug weekends with these videos called The Mind's Eye.
Yes.
You ever see The Mind's Eye?
No.
There was 2 or 3 of them, and it was animation that's on par with this, yes?
Yes.
And we would just turn off the shitty synth stock music and put on real music that we listened to.
Right.
And get stoned, whatever he did, this was worse than that.
Wow.
Way
Would you agree?
worse. Yes.
Like a lot worse, right?
Yeah. And
Like
there's
Lawnmower Man is leaps and bounds
See,
ahead
that's
of this.
the only
Lawnmower
thing I
Man,
can think
if I
of was
was-
Lawnmower Man.
No, if I could just take the stuff out of Lawnmower Man that's the VR quote unquote shit and just like get high and watch that, I would be like, whoa, that's pretty fucking trippy, man. Like, this stuff I wouldn't have been tripped out by, like, ever.
No.
Like, I could look at one of those Mind's Eye like posters from the mall circa, 1994.
Spencer Gifts.
Yeah. They're like,
Yeah.
oh shit, Tyrannosaurus Rex, man. That's way trippier. Like, this was not trippy. This was like, okay, so if you've ever seen the Mystery Science Theater, the Raul Julia, the last thing he ever did.
Overdrawn at
the
the memory
PBS
bank.
Yeah.
Overdrawn at the Memory Bank. It was kind of like those effects, only that had more budget, so it actually wasn't even that good.
No.
But like those things that they were going, and that thing was like 1994, so it's like way, like this the movie we're talking about is years ahead computer wise and years behind budget wise, and it's like nowhere near as good. It's like this floating Swedish fish, but they're like all just made of ellipses. And
So can we talk a little bit about budget?
yeah,
So
let's do
this
it.
is produced, written, and directed by Mark Region. And
And he'll never work in this town again.
so this was filmed in Massachusetts.
All right.
He did an interview with Filmmaker, I believe, the website, filmmaker.com. They tracked him down. So basically, okay, so this trailer dropped in 2009 on like Apple's movie page or whatever.
Whoa.
And it spread pretty quickly, like, what the fuck, is this real? And then it actually came out in like 6 cities and like indie theaters.
Holy.
And so Filmmaker like sent the people, like this reporter, that writer for Filmmaker, said like, I know somebody in New York, I know somebody in whatever. So it's like, please go see this. Is this real? What is this?
I gotta know what this
So he
is
got a
about.
full report back. He finally tracked this dude down and interviewed him. So that's how we know that it was shot on 35. That's how we know that he claims that the budget for just production was $30,000 to $40,000.
Okay.
And then after the fact, he had to go and raise some money through some benefactors and whatever, to the tune of for finishing, right, for post in general,
Editing,
titles and computer animation.
No.
$5 million.
No.
He claims that the film ultimately cost $5 million with the animations and the titles.
Oh, no.
No way.
No.
Yeah.
That all turned into cocaine.
No way.
So
1 million post tops. That's like MJ's home video production
right.
level of shit. I mean,
Wow.
even in 2009 or
So what did
whatever,
filmmaker think of this? What did they? I mean,
that's insane.
how was their reaction?
I can't. It was just an interview.
Okay.
It was kind of agnostic.
Just a
right,
journalistic.
I mean, he was just saying, like, we saw the trailer, we were freaking out.
Like, tell me about this.
Is this real?
What do you have to say about this? Okay, thank you for your time.
Not only is
So-
it real, it was $5 million.
Yeah, he asked about his influences as a filmmaker. He said, I love all kinds of movies. I love, like, Dumb and Dumber. He said, we'll talk about specific films that are, like, mileposts for you, like, touch points for this film. He said, like, Sixth Sense, The Exorcist. And the guy asked him, like, so is Lawnmower Man, like, an influence here? And he's like, no, but I can see why you'd say that. Like,
No, I've never seen it.
No,
but
I don't know anything about Lawnmower Man.
I've never seen Lawnmower Man, but I've been through it.
Okay, so I watched, like, almost all of it once. Couldn't make it through, and then watched it all together tonight. Mm-hmm. Can somebody tell me what is going on with the murder mystery? What is the mystery of this film, and what is the reveal in the last act of what? I don't understand what happens.
I'm not.
I'll go with the mystery if you go with the reveal.
Oh my god. Okay. I'm not.
So
sure.
the mystery is very hidden in a lot of ways. Somehow during these, mind transfer reading sessions of the psychology exercise, not even an experiment, it's an exercise.
They call it a psychology exercise, yeah.
And somehow through these different, through these sessions and looking at all these amazing computer shapes, they start seeing this faceless man with a icicle ready to stab people. And that's really, I think the murder comes up before then, but I don't know. I don't know if it does.
It does. We see a guy get killed.
Yeah.
That's right. He has the blood stain. He has the really bad
And he has
blood stain.
the Union Jack belt.
So we see in the 3D animation thing, we see he has like it looks like an icicle. You're right. And we were joking about that, but it's like, I think that's just like they didn't know how to render a knife, and they're like, just make a conic, like a long cone he's holding, and so it looks like a stretched out upside down ice cream cone. And they're like, okay, yeah, that'll, because everything's simple shapes. So they're like, yeah, that'll make sense. If we keep it all simple, we don't have to like render a knife.
So they see this guy, and then I think they start realizing that either he's headed there or
Something.
Yeah, it gets kind of
Rear
mysterious.
window really fast.
Yeah.
And so his face in the vision is obscured.
Yes.
Because he looks like he's from like the Court of Owls and Batman.
Yeah. He's wearing like a fencing mask. Or something.
It is. Yeah, it looked like a fencing
Which is
mask made out of
confusing with
mercury.
Yeah, which is confusing because he's holding, like when he's holding that icicle thing, it sort of looks like the end of an epi. It's sort of like what it's weird. Like so you're being pursued by like the guy from like the head of the fencing team or something.
Chaz.
Yeah, it's like Chester.
Chaz Buckworth.
Yeah,
Jr.
Go
the third.
back to private school.
Okay, so one of my major stumbling points in this movie, many stumbling points, was after one of the first runs of doing this technology thing, Sarah says, I need to take a break. And she steps outside.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's a whole sequence where she comes back, they put the chips back on, they go back into the Dreamscape. Is that copyrighted? Can I say that? And
Sure.
And
Dairy
the
Queen
killer
will
comes into the room, and there's an invisible killer moving things out of the way, coming towards them and cutting them and slashing them. And it was like actually one of the few interesting moments in the movie, in my opinion. That was a dream, right?
Yes, that was a dream.
Because then he wakes up.
Because then the boiled ham-faced guy wakes up and he's like, ugh.
Yeah.
What happened?
And then she comes in again, and she's like she's never been there because she's fully got her
She's got her backpack on.
Okay, that was my question. Was
and
the
she's
entire...
like, hey, I'm here for the experience.
So was the entire experiment...
Exercise.
Was the
I'm
entire
here for the
exercise
full,
up to that point a dream?
Jimi Hendrix psychological experience.
Good.
What?
Were you and I just reading it as her kind of saying, I just showed up for the first time?
Yes.
Okay, so it wasn't her saying, I just came back from getting a breath of fresh air.
No,
it wasn't.
She's just showing up.
I read it as her like she just showed up, and so he like somehow reset, and I was like, this doesn't make any sense.
No.
So yeah, I read that the same way, and I was like, wait, what?
Okay.
And then they started over, but then they immediately connected back with the mind chips, and they were like, we gotta get this guy.
And then we cut to
I don't remember.
the actual guy.
Oh, yeah, right.
And his awesome conversation on the phone. Somehow we see the guy who actually seems to be the killer.
Yeah, and he kind of looks
out of
like
nowhere.
Like if Patton Oswalt had another brother, it's like he's got another older brother that's like, and he's like, what does he say? We have a clip, but it's like, he's like, oh, you gave me most of the security code. You couldn't give me the last two numbers. Give me the last two numbers. And then he's like, bah. Like he's like, Matt, he's dead. What are you gonna do?
So
Guess he died on me.
I was trying to get into the lab. There are 6 digits to the access code. Now, what are the last digits to the access code?
after the dream, when the experiment actually starts, is when Craig comes, a disembodied voice speaking.
Yes.
This is the real world.
That's
right?
the real world after the
He's
dream.
speaking to
I
them.
guess.
Yeah,
He's
it is.
lifting a ruler up. He's like saying it's hard for me to move these things, but I am. So he's like a spirit.
Yeah.
What is that?
How does that help them?
He was the guy in the Union Jack belt that got murdered in the beginning, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But he doesn't look like the guy at the end
No,
who
he
is
doesn't.
Craig.
In that photo, he doesn't look like it at all.
Okay.
I didn't.
I'm trying to figure this thing out.
I don't know if we're
I'm
meant
sorry.
to
No,
know.
I'm with you. I was just like, they went like, oh, Craig, and it was like, who the
What?
fuck is Craig? Craig? Like, hey,
And
remember
then they
Craig,
show us
man?
the photo
Oh.
like it's supposed to mean something.
Right.
We're like, oh, of course.
And it's a totally different guy.
Craig.
So it looks like 1972 Robert De Niro.
That- yeah.
From like Mama, Bloody Mama or whatever the hell.
Yeah. Well, and all the pictures are turned out like away towards the window. But like, yeah, like it was like, oh, Craig, Craig's crazy. That would be just like him to get stabbed and then come haunt us. Craig's nutty, man.
So, a lot of talk on the internet has been about the MRI machine. That's one of the fan favorites.
As it should be.
That's fucking ridiculous.
It's amazing.
So it's addressed in the interview that I mentioned. And he said, the interviewer said, so it looks like it's made out of cardboard and paper. And Mark Regent says, it was, but it looked,
you can't tell.
It looked way better on set. Like it looked like in the light we had and everything, it looked good, but when we got the film back processed, it looked
Okay, now
like it
I'll
was.
tell you why that's bullshit. Because working in stop motion animation, I make stuff all the time that I will look at literally at 2 feet and go, this'll fly, this'll work. And then the ultimate test is you don't know what it's going to do with camera and lighting until you get it on a unit. So you put it on a thing, and I'm actually literally doing this right now with trying to make like a thing. And so I'll make a little sample and I'll go, well, this is fucking great. And then I'll get it out there and I'll take a little test shot and I'm like, it just looks like a bunch of nothing. Or it's either too specific or not specific enough and looks like a blob, or it just doesn't do what I want to do. So you know this. And I know, like, yes, we have, like, digital stuff and you can take a quick digital pic and whatever. But there's no way that, like, you don't make a big prop. Like, there's no way there's that big of a disconnect between that big of a prop and, like, that looks real in real life, but then you put it on camera and it looks like crazy cardboard and shit.
What if you were on $4 million worth of cocaine?
Yeah, it would look great then.
Yeah, you'd be like, this is awesome. And then be like, wait, what happened? What happened? But no, you're right, because like with what we're doing things that are on really small scales, and you're trying to trick the eye. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's what I'm saying is like,
And he did the opposite.
Yeah.
well, we're doing small stuff, so where it's like, okay, this looks like this will fly, but then you have like camera angle and all this stuff, and like you're scaling it down because like, you have puppets that are like 1/8 scale and all that stuff. So now if you're doing a thing in like real life scale, walking in a room if the thing's gonna fly or not, right?
For sure. No, they absolutely knew it was gonna
If
look like
from
that.
me to you, if it's like, that looks like a real thing, that looks like a goddamn good prop, lighting's not going to make that look good unless you put like white gaff tape on it and the light's somehow picking up like a shadow or something. But mostly it's probably going to look fine. And you're going to be able to go, once we light it, like, oh, it's picking up a shadow. Like, we're going to have to put another like layer of something over it and like something to hide the seams, that kind of thing. But you're not just going to, there's no way you're going from like, it looked phenomenal, great, and looked like a real, that thing did not look like a real MRI machine. That looked like a little, like, boy in the bubble tent. Like, it looked like a weird, like, tiny bouncy house, and then a table that they were going to slide in and didn't even bother to do that. They just, like, cut away and then cut back, and it was like, trust me, he went in there. He went in and came out.
Oh, there was one shot where you can see him kind of moving back a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I missed that.
You might have blinked.
Yeah.
I missed that, but like, yeah. Like,
So I'm glad people online were liking the MRI tent.
So I love that hospital, by the way, that's in.
It's a pink room with 2 windows on a corner room with blinds.
I like that it has a ceiling fan with like a sconce on it and stuff. You know, like every hospital.
You know,
but
like,
there's also 2 X-ray prints taped up to the wall, so
that evens it out.
It's literally like a room you would, rent for $800 a month. Like, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
It's like
don't ask about their dead daughter. Just pay the rent. Be quiet when you go in and out.
I know it's pink, but you can't change. You cannot paint the walls. That's all we ask.
Yeah.
And you have to put all this stuff that's in storage back up in here for my dead daughter. But like I've been to like an MRI lab, like a
I've been in MRIs several times.
Yeah. And
they're big.
It is
off-white
not like
plastic covered metal behemoths.
They do make that noise though.
They make that noise.
They got the noise right.
But
download that from like YouTube.
But it's in a basement generally, or it's in a labby feeling setting.
Yes.
There's not a lot of windows.
No.
I mean, it's
not
a
pink
big
room
old,
with white trim.
No.
It's a big old magnet, man.
No ceiling fans.
And they are not trying to make you feel comfortable. I mean, they want you to feel comfortable, but not by like, hey, pink walls and not lots of natural sunlight. They're not doing that. That's crazy.
Oh man.
Yeah. It was so just like not like, oh, has nobody here ever gotten an MRI? Like, this is you literally should get Tyvek and just wallpaper this whole place with Tyvek. And I mean, you should make it look like Andy Warhol's like the fucking New York, what's it called? The Velvet Underground place.
Exploding Plastic Inevitable?
Yeah.
The factory?
EPI, the
factory.
Thank you. Where it's like all foil and shit. Like if it was literally like aluminum foil balloons floating around, you'd be like, this is what I think of when I think of getting an MRI.
Yeah.
It would be closer.
Flock of seagulls.
Yeah. Like, oh yes, magnets. So everything's metally. I get it.
So, Jacob, can you describe to me the 2 leads just a little bit, like who they are and what their deal is?
Well,
who are the 2 leads?
Who are the 2 leads? Can we establish that first?
They're Matthew and Sarah.
Matthew and Sarah. Well, Sarah, as we've already talked about, is a student who studies very hard, but somehow has time for this exercise. And the lead, Matt, she needs the
extra money.
She does. She needs that little extra money. Matt is a doctor.
So
was that established?
So
no.
the opening scene, the doctor is explaining what MRIs are to these 2 students.
Okay.
So they're peers.
Oh, okay, they are peers.
So he's like an intern for this study, and she signed up for it.
Okay.
And so at one point, if you recall, he also had signed up for a study she was doing where she was saying, describe a car. If you had a car, describe your car.
Well, that's what she did like when he came out of the dreamscape, then suddenly she's asking him questions.
Right, that's why
which was very strange.
That wasn't that wasn't a separate study?
No, that was after, well, we saw her asking him questions after they came out of, they stopped
I thought
incepting.
she was saying, like, let's do my study now. But you said
I'm not sure.
Very small pool for data.
Like, okay, I need some fresh air. And then she comes back and she's like, now we're doing my thing.
Now your turn.
But I don't know. Like,
why would knowing that he picks a sedan be relevant to his experiment?
But he started saying shit about rectangles and circles and shit.
Okay.
I don't know.
Maybe that's telling that I really didn't know what the one of the main leads' function was.
So if you had to say this guy, he looks like who's this celebrity doppelganger?
I think you
have one
did
in
you
mind,
say?
clearly. Or,
No, I don't.
No?
I thought
No.
you had said something while we were watching. I couldn't figure out.
No, nothing.
He's kind of a weird squished face.
He's
And
just
kind of, I don't know. I don't even know how you
he's just a
describe
Blando
it.
fucking cipher to me.
Yeah.
Like,
He could be
He
anyone.
just looks like you just put a boiled ham on top of a mannequin.
I mean,
That's it. His, yeah, boiled ham
I mean,
for
it's
sure.
just like if you had like a pork butt and you boiled it and then let it dry out and drew a face on it and put a wig on it and then put it in a
lab coat.
in Dockers
put it in
and a lab coat.
and
Oh no, he didn't have a lab coat,
and
did he?
like Docker jeans and like
With some pleats, pleated jeans.
and a dress shirt.
That's why I say 2009, no way.
Like, no fucking way.
There's time travel involved here.
So talk a little bit about the tech we see in here. Beyond, we talked about the computer graphics.
Oh, we saw an Apple IIe. Everybody has a fucking Apple IIe in 2009.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, like yesterday, this guy did this epic tweet that was like, there was an Apple IIe in all my old shit in my parents' attic.
Oh, I saw
And he
that.
pulled it out, and he's like, the discs still work.
Yeah.
And he was like, there's some stuff I couldn't boot up, but like he was like showing these old games and stuff. It was like it went viral. It was
ran Neuromancer.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
An old, right? You know that game.
Yeah.
It's like from like 84 or something.
Yeah. So like he was showing these old shits,
And it asked if it wanted to load his old game.
it said, "Do you want to load your old saved game?" And he's like, "Oh shit, yeah!" I was like, "That's what they need to be asking voters like now." Like Save Point with Obama. I mean, God.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, yeah, like to see like people had these bulky monitors and like
Well, they're the
all right,
deepest monitors you've ever seen.
like
Yeah.
2009, like
No way.
everyone had like maybe iMacs. Or they were starting to have like the flat screen monitor shit.
Absolutely by then.
And then towers.
So wherever
So,
they
like,
got this stuff.
They were just buying shit. They're like, just take it. Goodwill's like, take it. You
Goodwill's
need it for
like, we don't want
your,
this.
you need it for your dumb movie? Take this. Yeah. They're like, ugh. We don't even know if this works. It's a brick.
Then we can kind of talk about the technology of the little things that you put on your temple, which look like folded up little Post-it notes. Like, they look like they're literally made of paper.
I think what they are is they're the clear tabs that you put on manila like a folder.
Oh,
so
right.
like if you have a binder and then you have these little clear, they're like tape, but then they have color at the end of them, like yellow or blue or green or whatever.
Yeah.
And they just like cut the color part off, but it's still sticky, or it's still sticky, and then like stuck them on their temples. That's what it looks like, because they're like clear.
But they're small chips is what they are designated as.
Yes. So all the characters in this film, one of the ways they convey information simply is to have characters read a news article printed out from Yahoo News. Did you notice that? It happened like 3 times in the movie.
What?
So it would just say like stabbing attack, blah, blah, blah. And it would just say like news update. And it's just typed like in a word processor and printed out. And so he kind of caught some flack about that too. And he said, people are saying that's my way of like doing a cheap fake newspaper. And it's not. These characters.
No, but it is.
These characters, well, functionally, but not aesthetically. He's saying these characters printed this from like a Yahoo News page.
Which people do all the time, right?
You print an article and read
I know.
outside.
Yeah,
I print my emails all the time.
Yeah. I know one of the, like, for most people, like, having grown up from the pre-internet age into the internet age, I know that most people my age were relieved about was, like, now I can get my news on the internet and then print it out. And that way I'm using my own printing ink instead of, say, subscribing to a newspaper or a news magazine.
It's the future.
And so I know that was a big advance for us. And so, yeah, that would probably... But again, probably not 2009.
Well, maybe Mark
Probably more
Region is like 85 when he made this.
96.
Seriously, there's some kind of time travel involved.
It's like 95.
It looks like 95.
Right. Yeah, at one point we thought maybe this was set in 95 because it was so technologically retarded.
But the clothes and everything.
I asked you maybe 3 times in the first
Yes, you
hour.
did.
I'm like, what year again?
Yeah. What's
I'm
this
like
movie called?
95,
What
right?
year?
No, like 95, 97? You're like 2000, what? 3?
9.
2009. Fucking get out.
That was
No.
our reaction every
No
time
way.
I say
Yes,
that.
it was.
I still
was.
don't believe you.
I
That was my
still
point. Was like,
There's
bear in mind when you
no
watch
way.
this, anytime you're like, what the fuck? Remember, Obama was president.
That
That's
makes
where we
no
were in
sense.
history when this happened.
Yeah, that makes
That's
zero
your
sense.
Like, what else came out in 2009? Look it up, listeners, and you will be baffled.
Yeah, I was.
You'll be like, Wreck-It Ralph? Like, what the fuck?
My kid was alive.
Yeah.
Then.
Lego
the fact
movie?
the fact that Athena was alive when this thing was made is really disturbing.
Yeah.
Like, 2009 was probably the first Captain America movie.
Yeah?
No, 2008 was Iron Man. I don't think Cap
Maybe
came out until like
2010.
2010 or 11. First Avenger.
But, yeah.
It was like 10 or 11.
Close,
Yeah.
Close. Man. Close.
I'm gonna
There's
take my,
no way
my
we could
Apple
possibly-
IIe
No, there's no
Yeah.
way we could possibly know.
Load up Oregon Trail.
and I'm going
Let's
to.
See what's
Possibly
up.
not. You have to play the whole game to get to the end to get all the information.
Yeah.
2011 was the first Captain America.
Okay. So Iron Man, but still.
Yeah.
Jesus
So this came out
Christ.
after Iron Man.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that shitty Hulk movie with Edward Norton, same year as this.
Wow.
There had already been like 2-3 Hulk movies by the time this thing came out.
Yeah.
Like with it, like post Fight Club, but pre Iron Man. There had already been like 2 Hulk movies.
Yeah.
But I mean, if he's getting millions of dollars from investors, like, this is a scam, right?
Yes.
Like, this is a...
So do you think he's actually getting
You
this
say
money?
scam, I say investment.
It's like a producer's kind of thing? Like, I don't understand. No, he just bilked all these investors out of a lot of money.
He's like, I don't know, it didn't do well.
I can't believe that he shot it on 35
That makes no sense.
No,
in
that's on,
2009.
that looks on like it's on video. On like
Almost video.
Like
Yeah.
it's not quite video, but
So he did mention that a lot of those scenes, which is the majority of the middle of the film is all those 2 students talking to each other in that room, right?
Yes.
So he said that that they were not in the same room for most of those shots because just of timing issues.
Okay.
They had a very narrow window to shoot this thing. So a lot of times it was just them speaking to no one, doing their lines or cutaway shots, which, didn't help anything.
No, it doesn't help anything.
But neither did the bizarre dialogue.
Oh, the stilted dialogue. I don't even know if you call it... I don't know what you would call it.
The end scene, there's a in the last act, there's a bizarre phone call between Matt and someone about hot springs.
Yes. There's a lot of bizarre phone calls.
No, he was unconscious. I followed him outside when the cops escorted him to the car and tossed him in the back seat. Yeah, apparently he may have committed crimes in other states. And he lives a few miles from here. Oh, did you see Steve? Yeah, he was in Dana Hall yesterday. He came back Sunday. I was talking to him. He says his brother is staying in an area with a lot of hot mineral springs. In Centerville. The places are all around there. My uncle stayed in the area last year. He showed me a picture. There's a lot of places you can stay and swim in the spring. He says a lot of tourists go there to swim in them. Yeah, apparently it's one of the area's main attractions. Some people go there to swim in the water for therapeutic reasons. He stopped there on his way back. He says in some places the water can be really hot. Yeah, steam actually rises from the ground in some spots. Not very long. Less than a day. getting to see the whole town.
Did that have a function that you could tell?
No, that had no function.
So I feel like sometimes Mark Regan, the auteur here, just would find things out and just think, I want to put this in a movie.
Like people talking about the heat of a certain hot spring.
Yes, like the MRI thing. The first 10 minutes of the film is the two students in question having the doctor explain how MRIs work and what they're for.
Yes, in a real smarmy way.
Yeah, in a real kind of condescending, smarmy way.
Yeah.
In a pink bedroom. Okay, let's get Joe.
Okay.
Final thoughts.
Yes. Okay, so can you guys tell me a little bit about, before we go into final thoughts, what in this movie worked for you?
That is a really, really hard question.
What rubbed your tummy?
Jeez. Oddly enough, since 99% of it takes place in these horrible, nondescript rooms, the few seconds that we got shots outside in the snow felt like this breath of relief. So every time we left whatever awful warehouse that we were in, even for a few seconds, those were my favorite parts of the movie.
So that says a lot about being punished.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Right? You're in the hole for 3 weeks.
Yeah. You just want to see the sun, a blade of grass.
It's like Papillon.
Totally. Yeah, that's a good... I would second that, but also, I don't know. I feel like once I'm in one of these things, sometimes I feel like a bit of a martyr to it. And I know we did feeders and we did some other things that were like painful in similar ways, or maybe, as much or more. I kind of like leaning into it a little bit. So there are things about it that I like, and this will probably affect my final judgment. I sort of like that it was just like the set decoration, the set dressing, set design, or lack thereof. I was kind of delighted by that, because it was just like, holy shit, you're not even trying. You're not even doing the bare minimum, and it baffles me. I think I mentioned, it was like, it's, Birdemic, it makes Birdemic look like a professional production, because they used locations, and this is an actual thing with walls and seats and furniture and real things, and this looks like they rented the VFW hall but forgot to rent chairs, and they're like, oh, right. Okay. So the whole thing is like that. And I sort of love that, because it could just be like, this is, wow. I'm strapping in. I am strapping in, because this is like such a fucking nightmare.
So that's what you liked about it?
Kind of. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I know.
I just keep thinking, the majority of these scenes take place in this snuff film warehouse thing, and the majority of the Reservoir Dogs takes place in the same exact spot, but they're very different experiences for me.
Yes.
Yes. Well, one of them picked a fantastic location and shot it beautifully. The other feels like they used the basement of an apartment building and sort of in Reservoir Dogs, they want it to be a warehouse.
Yes.
So there's that.
They leaned into the warehouseness.
Yeah.
They're like, this is a place where criminals are meeting, and so let's find a spot that's that. And they did a location shoot. They did a location
Fair enough.
scout to get a place that was that in LA. Now this was, who knows where the fuck they shot this, but they were like, I don't know, maybe we can use the basement of this dormitory and we'll just paper off where the laundry machines are, and we'll put, I don't know what that piece of wallpaper up was that was like
in the dorm
passing
room?
For decoration, or was it to hide? I don't know what that was. There was weird, and there were, I
think it was a fake wall to hide that it was the exact same room they'd shot all the other stuff in.
Maybe. And
but they put the fabric or whatever on the wrong side of the wall.
Yes.
Right, there were little tape tabs.
It should have
or
looked like it
whatever.
was wallpaper and been
What were
flipped
those
around.
pillars outside?
Well,
that's what you were gonna.
that's the thing is like we haven't even addressed that there was. I mean, not that this needs a huge, like its own thing, but there were in the set decoration there were these sort of octagonal.
You've seen 2001, right?
They're standing stones.
These are obelisks from 2001, but they're white.
These were
They're
but
wrapped
they
in
were
butcher paper.
but they were
Wrapped in butcher
octagonal,
paper.
and it looked like somebody was like looked like a cardboard box that a water heater would come in,
Yeah.
and they were everywhere. But they never played a part in the thing at all. But they were sort of a feature of this building.
Outtakes.
So part of me thought, is this him trying to say like, this is such a
We're all
cutting edge
octagons.
science place that like these are charging stations for electric cars because this place is so advanced?
That's giving him a lot of credit.
That's the only read I could get of that.
Yeah, that's
No?
giving a lot of credit to the filmmaker.
Yeah,
Okay.
wow.
That he might not deserve.
Okay.
Yeah. You're so stupid. You're ahead of your time.
Before we go into final judgment,
Not you. I mean
sure.
I'm saying you're saying that of your
Whatever.
student.
Okay, so I don't know if I
love you,
I don't know.
students.
I'll accept your answer, but I have some issues with it. But let's talk a little bit about sound design. We did not talk about the sound. We talked about the way this looks, but not how it sounds.
Not great.
So, not great, but very deliberate. So there's these gurgling / toilet noises that happen through the whole thing. And I
Cthulhu
almost...
farts is
Yeah.
what we're calling
And
them.
so even by the end, I'm like, okay, so are those things showing up in the dreamscape only? Is that our cue, our little clue that, no, this might not be happening? But it really just sounds like someone with a really upset stomach.
And when the
And-
when the 3D animation's happening, there's
No sound.
silence.
It's dead silent.
So you'd think if it was part of that other world that it would be happening in that
Like it's
part.
happening when that's about, it makes no sense. And it's really distracting and really loud in the mix.
Yeah, and the dialogue itself is actually pretty muddled and hard to
Really hard to
pick
understand.
out.
Everything's echoey because they're shooting in completely empty, furnitureless locations, which if you've ever moved ever in your life and you have stuff in boxes and you haven't set up your shit yet, it's like, or like you've looked at an apartment you're going to you're like, wow, this is really great.
Yeah.
Like, great. Like it's like super echoey. It's can be amazing when you're recording music, but when you're trying to record dialogue that's supposed to be in an actual like environment, that's not a thing you encounter. Like you don't go to the doctor's office or somebody's apartment and go, holy shit, yeah, it's totally normal that it's super echoey in here. Like, it does not happen.
And music-wise,
Yes,
they
that was
basically
what I was
just
going.
use... Now, what are those little keyboards that you would like
It's
blow
like a melodica.
into? It's a melodica.
Yeah.
Melodica, whatever you
That's basically it, right?
They're either using
and it's
that or
only
they're
3 or
using-
4 notes.
They're either using that or they're using an electronic keyboard on an oboe setting.
I believe it's that.
Okay.
I mean,
I could swear I heard breathing.
It's like, boo-doo-doo,
like someone's...
now I want to know.
It might be both. It could be both.
So it sounded to me like that thing that a lot of B and C and Z movies do, which is instead of hire a guy to do a score, let's just spend $300 on a keyboard and somebody here will figure out something to do.
Yeah.
So it just sounded like this aimless kind of wandering around the keyboard. It's like, well, it's intense. It's
But
it's
the music
dramatic now
cues...
because there's no melody.
All
But
the
then
music
they-
cues were 3 seconds long. That was the other thing,
Yeah.
too. It wasn't
They're
even
just
long
like,
enough
yeah.
for there to be
It'd
like,
be
oh,
boo-doo-doo-doo, and then
that's
that's it. Like,
done.
Like, there's no theme. There's no, like Craig's theme. It was not happening. It was just like boo-doo-doo, and then like, oh, okay. Like fucking Super Mario had more like consistent music than this thing. You
I
know?
don't know.
Okay, so I'm not going to go into the what didn't work for you because I think we've covered that quite a
Yeah,
bit.
that's the same thing.
Everything.
So do you think, Jacob,
Okay.
that the frequent cutaways to signs and ceiling fans was an homage to David Lynch. Were the signs like the traffic lights in Twin Peaks?
And the fan. Now the fan, that I can see. But more, the cuts were so. I mean, they're like jump cuts in a weird way. But it reminded me of the cuts from Minoku, the Fabulous House of the Future. Skip from Mr. Show. Because it just...
yes!
Because it would just cut to them suddenly in a room, and then cut to a guy on the phone.
And then cut back to the scene that we were in that had no reason to be cut away from.
Right. Violent
It's
editing.
the Fabulous House of the Future.
Violent editing without any purpose or intent.
No purpose.
And there was jump cuts of like that same Minoku Mr. Show thing where it's like there, at one point there's a professor teaching in a basement somewhere, a female professor, and it just jump cuts. She just appears in front of her desk.
Yeah.
And it's just...
But then it goes right back to the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you see, blinds are like regulars now. Oh! Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's time. Final judgment. Jacob, is this cool or is this trash? And why?
You know, I've been pretty lenient in the previous episodes, pretty understanding and generous.
I think so.
I think I've always found something that I could take away from these films and enjoy. This one, no. 100% this is trash.
Okay. I'm glad you said that, because if you tried to get away with a cool, I was going to remind you that you were groaning through all 100 minutes of this movie.
Yeah, I was groaning. There were some face palms. There's a lot of just, oh God.
I like how he introduced it, though, that he's like, look, I think I've been fair, like assistant principal.
Tough but fair.
Look, I'm trying not to hurt the film's feelings.
The cool teacher is
cool
like,
about it.
all right, look, film, I'm gonna sit you down. Like I've been pretty cool. I've been pretty lenient in the past. Like I've let you chew gum in class. I let you skip that one day, but
Call me Jacob. You don't have to call me Mr. Balcom.
Yeah, I mean, I like
I'm the cool teacher.
to think we're friends, but I mean. Like,
this is a bridge
if you're gonna disrespect me like this, like, I just, like, do you understand? I can't, I'm gonna have to call bullshit.
Joe?
I'm gonna call trash, but with an asterisk.
Oh boy.
Because...
A butcher paper and scotch tape asterisk?
Yes. I'm gonna print out an asterisk on MS Word on a Canon printer. I'm gonna blow it up real big, and I'm gonna put it in a plastic sleeve, and I'm gonna use packing tape to tape that plastic sleeve to a brick wall.
Okay.
Then I'm going to have an arrow on it. I'm going to draw that arrow with a Sharpie that says, this way, because, what I think is, like, it's definitely trash. Like, there's no... The redeeming features to me are sort of the things that are so masochistic that I can't possibly recommend it. Like, that's personal to me. That'd be like saying to somebody like, hey man, getting the shit slapped out of you. You should try it sometime. Like, all right. Like, this is not for the faint of heart. If you want something like that, maybe start with Birdemic. Don't start here. Having said that, like, I've gone through a lot of these. I like making fun of these things, so I there's something I find masochistically enjoyable in making jokes about them and stuff. Obviously that's why I do this, blah blah blah. So I think if you're so inclined, then check this out, waste some time on it. But I'd say for the majority of the population, like, holy shit, stay the fuck away. Like, there's no... This person, like, the person that directed this movie, Mark, whatever the fuck.
Region.
Probably not his real name. He's probably out of the country by now. He didn't spend the time to try and entertain you. He didn't give you his best effort. Don't waste your time on him.
Okay. So you're saying, may I say back? So you're saying this is trash. However, you enjoyed it on your level, but you're saying that level is not for everybody. It's probably not everybody's cup of jizz.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It does. Just
I know that's
bear in mind
weird,
that when you bring a trash to the table, you got to offer up an antidote of something. It doesn't
Right.
have to be tied to this thing.
Okay.
Just something, hopefully that's free and doesn't have to be. I'm going to have to say this is trash because this is brutal. I'm with you, Joe. I'm in the same place where I think you and I are, multiple tour vets of going through some of the shit. We've been in the shit.
Yeah, you're just like, I just like the action, man.
We've been pits deep in guts.
Yeah.
And I appreciate on that level, but it's still hard to watch.
Yeah.
And it's pretty frustrating. And to me, it's like,
If I hadn't done it's like Nam, man. If I hadn't been there with my fucking buddies, I don't think I could have made it, man.
no, it's like if Mulholland Drive was made by a retarded chimpanzee or something. Like it's like I know that he's got something he's going for here, but it really was more like Inland Empire. Like it doesn't make any. It's impenetrable,
Messy,
and it's not because of any kind of an intellect or intent. It's impenetrable because he is inept in every aspect of storytelling, of filmmaking, of sound design, everything else. It is so inept that it goes beyond that barrier that you and I love of shit into that.
Well, it becomes a cautionary tale.
Yes, it does. Exactly. It's a cautionary tale. I mean,
hey, that's what I said.
People sometimes tell me, ask why do you do this show? Why do you like this stuff? And it's like, okay, so you might not like the 50s and 60s corn dog stuff, or maybe the 70s blaxploitation you don't get, or whatever. Maybe you don't like the Rambo ripoff, but The Room, check out The Room, because The Room is a social phenomenon. It's a phenomenon, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, my mom knows what The Room is now.
Yeah.
So when people ask me what your deal is, what The Room, it's like that. It's like it's somebody who's trying really hard to make a great film and they fail utterly in every respect.
But they're very sincere.
That's what makes it good to me.
Yeah.
This is that exception to the rule. This is like Birdemic's the same way. James Wynn had a vision. He's very passionate about the ecology and the environment, and he failed utterly. And it's spectacular.
But he was so sincere about it.
Yeah.
And he failed so spectacularly that's what makes it such a marvel.
Do you think this movie is such trash because I don't see any sincerity or vision in it?
Well,
it's like he doesn't give a shit about the movie he's making.
I don't agree at all. I think he's trying really, really hard. I think he's doing that thing where it's like in his mind, this is the Sixth Sense. This is something, and he's not firing. It's like he just trips. The firing gun goes off, and the guy lands on his face.
I think we're looking at a Dunning-Kruger kind of thing with a filmmaker, and he got a modest budget, did a little bit with somehow he was a smooth talker, got some people to do some stuff and free work for him, but clearly he didn't have a fucking set decorator or he didn't have any set dressers or a lighter or he didn't have an LC or a DP or anything. But he was like, hey, but this is the potential, and people gave him money because they thought, but you're gonna reshoot all this shit, right? Because that shit that we saw looked like rehearsal. It looked like they were like, okay, now let's do the real thing.
But what you just said is entirely based on the assumption that what he told that interviewer is the truth.
That's true.
He told that guy we had $30,000 to $40,000 to shoot the actual film you saw. We had, with finishing money and post, it was $5 million total. That's what he said. I don't believe it.
It can't be true.
I don't think that movie cost more than $8,000.
No.
Honestly.
Total.
El Mariachi was made for $8,000.
Yeah,
wasn't
no.
it?
Primer was $8,000.
Yeah. And those
Primer's
movies,
one of my favorite fucking movies.
Yeah.
both of those movies are fantastic and they hold up great.
Yeah, it's not money.
Yeah,
money's not the problem.
Money's not the problem.
Oh.
No.
There's people that know how to do a lot with a little, and there's no way what we just saw cost 30 anything.
Yeah,
30,000,
let alone $5 million.
Not 5 million.
That's an insult, in my opinion,
is.
to struggling
To
actual filmmakers.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need antidotes for this. This needs to fix stuff.
Oh boy.
So I'm going to start and give you guys time to think for a minute, okay?
I got mine.
So
Can we do TV shows?
it can be, yes.
Okay.
Again, the antidote is just something you have to offer if you give a trash. It doesn't have to tie in the film. It's a bonus if it does, but it doesn't. It doesn't have to be free, but it's a bonus if it is, but it doesn't.
Not gonna.
Okay, so my antidote is one of my favorite little movies that most people don't know. It's from 1992, and it's called Little Noises, and it stars Tatum O'Neal and Crispin Glover. And it's a very small little film. I forgot who the director is, but the premise is that Crispin Glover plays this struggling writer who is completely talentless, has no ability whatsoever, and but he just dreams of being a novelist and being respected and revered for his craft. And there's a neighborhood kid. It's like all set in like Brooklyn, and there's a neighborhood kid who's a mute, and he's this beautiful poet who writes these gorgeous, heartbreaking poems. And Crispin Glover ends up stealing them and publishing them as his own, and it's this heartbreaking, weird little indie movie that I just
like a
love
reverse
passionately.
Bergerac.
Yeah. So it's on YouTube. I just checked tonight. The whole thing's available on YouTube. I highly recommend it. I've seen it a dozen times. I love the movie. Little Noises, 1992. Look on YouTube. You can find it.
Oh, that's great. I'm going to look that up. I'll go next. I can recommend... so, a lot of people have been talking about this, but... so now it's probably really popular and doesn't need my endorsement, but... Jolie and I watched Russian Doll on Netflix, starring Natasha Lyonne, and just kind of like I knew who she was through comedy stuff and whatever, and Amy Poehler co-produces, and we were like, oh, let's check this out, and we were instantly hooked and just binged the whole thing, and it's really fantastic, and the basic premise is that she's in kind of a Groundhog Day situation and is trying to figure out why. And what I loved about the series is that besides all the performances are fantastic, it's really well written, and so much so that you think, oh, it's going to be this and they're going to do this. Like how you do, just, your brain does that. And then it's like, no, it's not that. It's not that. Like, it subverts expectations without being showy, without being like, oh, we did this crazy thing, and like, whoa, well, you thought we were gonna zig and we zagged. Like, it feels really smartly written, and it chugs along and does what it does, but it's not doing what you think it's gonna do, and it's also this kind of like, I don't know. Just check it out. Anyway, it's not a lot of things you'll run right through it. Now I sound like Natasha Lyonne. Just, you know what? Just get on the Netflix and just fucking just binge watch it, run right through it.
So
you'll love it.
You thought as well that her delivery is basically Columbo, right?
Oh yeah,
it absolutely is.
She's like, I don't know, It's Columbo. My boyfriend, he likes sweaters, but I don't know. I'm more of a trench coat guy. I don't know.
I feel like I'm the one person in my social circle who hasn't seen this.
Everybody smokes in it, which is crazy because, like, in New York City, it takes place in New York City.
Like, it's all these fancy
everyone's
places.
fucking smoking everywhere, and I'm like, is this actually taking place in like 1999 or something? Because like
Earth 2,
nobody smokes in New York City like indoors anymore anywhere, and like everyone's smoking everywhere except there's a cameo by what's his name, the guy that plays Paulie in Rocky. It's in Godfather. Fucking Bert.
I don't remember.
Rocky's brother-in-law.
not Burt Ward. That's Robin, right?
No,
that's
I know, and I always want to say Burt Ward. But it's
Burt Lair?
Burt. No, not Burt Lair. It's Bert something. I can't fucking remember, but he's like, wait. And he's in Chinatown too. There
was a Chinatown too?
Yeah.
Oh, the two Jakes.
The two Jakes.
No, he's in the end of Chinatown.
Oh.
Yeah.
In the very end of Chinatown, he's like, Jake Gittes goes in and he goes, hey, you can get me out of here, and like he has him like hide in his truck to get him out of town. You remember that? He's like,
it's been a few years.
Anyway, that guy.
Okay.
So you see him show up, and then like you're like, oh, okay. And he's like, you shouldn't smoke. You can't smoke. My wife's
Burt Young.
Yeah.
And she's like, I do what I want.
Jacob.
Anyway.
Antidote. Me.
Wow. So The antidote, the first thing I thought of as just to cleanse this gross palate that I have, I'm gonna go home and watch the first Thin Man movie.
Oh,
Wow.
W.S. Van Dyke. I'm going classy and the greatest dialogue ever.
oh God, yes.
So yeah, I think that's gonna help.
That's a great one.
Yeah, no, it really is.
How good is that series? I think I watched the first 2 or maybe 3.
The first 3 or 4 are great.
solid.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many are there? Like 6?
There's 5, I think. The last one is Song of the Thin Man, and that's a little rough.
Okay.
But you know their son, Little Nicky, that's Dean Stockwell.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I watched
Yeah,
it.
the first 3 are great.
Well, the
though.
second one's great because, who's the bad guy in that?
Shit.
Is, why can't I remember his name?
Burt Young.
From fucking It's a Wonderful
It's
Life.
Burt Young is Paulie.
Burt Young as
is
Paul.
Paulie.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Burt Young. And he's also the bad guy and everything.
No, any of the Thin Man movies would work
Yeah.
for an antidote to this hell.
Yeah. Fair enough. Okay.
Oh, Thin Man.
All right. Well, so we got Little Noises, Russian Dolls, and the Thin Man
Russian
series.
Doll.
Russian Doll.
Singular.
Russian Doll.
Doll. My wife, she
Okay.
loves Russian Doll.
Well, you guys, I appreciate you watching this with me. I know it was kind of rough, and I knew what I was doing, so I hope you're still friends with me.
You apologized profusely before we
I
watched
did.
this,
Yeah.
and it wasn't enough.
I know. That's what I'm saying. And I knew it wasn't enough.
I know you did.
I feel like we got our hate out early, though, because you pre-apologized.
Okay.
So I was already like, oh, I hate Matt for already doing this to me. And then, like, we got here and watched it, and I was like, well, I've already forgiven you whenever I hated you, so...
No, as an idiot, I went in as an optimist, being like, no, it can't be that bad. It's going to be fine.
You're pretty, Jacob.
Oh, God.
I already got
I'm
my
a
way.
fucking idiot.
I was already like, whoa, all weak, and now I'm like, it's fine.
Well, I just tried to Crisco the slide a little bit. So
Yeah.
I hope it helped. Okay, well, thank you for being here and for doing the experiment. I will never do this to you again.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so for That's Cool, That's Trash, I'm Matt Howell.
I'm Joe, what's his name?
I'm Jacob Balcom.
And you folks out there, stay trashy.
That's trash.
It's garbage, folks.
Angie, it looks like someone left a book in the living room. Is it yours?